Hi everybody and welcome to our presentation. Today we are going to talk about the Elizabeathan era and what the superstition and beliefs were at this time. First of all, let's start introducing the period and the context. The scholars regard the years between 1558 and 1603, during the Queen Elizabeth I's reign, the Elizabeathan era. It was an extremely prosperous time in England and a golden age for poetry, literature, and theatre. England was expanding its territory in a world considered as a vast place ruled over spirits and good and evil. To maintain balance between these forces, many Elizabethans participated in the creation and practice of superstition. But what is a superstition? If we go to the English dictionary, we can find its definition. A superstition is a belief or notion, not based on reason or knowledge, in or of the ominous significance of a particular thing, circumstance, occurrence, proceeding, or the like. The superstition that originated during the Elizabeathan era were based on various beliefs and traditions. But which were the causes of the creation of these beliefs? The historians think that many of the traditional English customs were based on the myths and superstition from the Dark Ages. Ignorance and fear of the force of nature, coupled with a fear of the supernatural and the unknown, resulted in many superstitions during the Elizabeathan era. So, now that we have analyzed the period, the meaning of the word, and the causes of superstition, let's have a look of what the superstition and beliefs were. First of all, the superstition can be distinguished in four topics. The most important is the topic of luck. Luck was a very important concept in a world without 20th century science to explain many day-to-day happenings. The Elizabeathans were constantly on guard for things that could potentially bring them bad luck. In fact, we have superstition of bad luck and of good luck. The bad luck superstition were: an eclipse was an evil omen. Then, the Elizabeathans believed a black cat crossing your path would cause a mishap. This could be because the color black was associated with evil, and cat was considered as a witch pet. Walking under ladders was considered to bring bad luck, as they were associated with the gallows and executions. Then, spilling pepper or salt was considered to bring bad luck, probably because spices were expensive during the Elizabeathan era. The fifth was that feather of a peacock was considered unlucky. Keeping shoes on a table was a very bad omen. It was akin to inviting your own death. Then we have that leaving the door of a room open was bad luck too. It was believed that stirring a pot anti-clockwise would bring bad luck to those who eat that food, and may lead to spoilage of food as well. And the last one was that losing your hair suddenly was a sign of bad luck to come. Then we have the superstition of good luck. The first one is that some things were considered to be very auspicious, like touching a man who is about to be hanged, letting a cow exhale on you. Then we have that running water had a lot of positive symbolism. Many Elizabethans believed that spitting into a fire would bring good luck their way. The exact origin of this act are not known, although fire was regarded as being good for luck, so it's possible that spitting into fire simply involved as a way so safely interact with it. Then we have another topic, the general superstition. Many Elizabethans believed that carrying flour in the pockets would protect them from the plague. Elizabeathans also commonly believed that burning enchanted wood and carrying bouquets offered plague protection. Then we have that today it is reflective for many Americans to say God bless you after someone sneezes. The custom is generally regarded as simple good manners, but in the Elizabethan era it was considered important protection against demonic possession. Many Elizabethans believed that when they opened their mouth in preparation for a sneeze, the devil could enter their bodies. When Elizabeathan said, God bless you, after someone sneezed, it was to exorcise that potential demon. They believed it would be impossible for a demon to stay in a physical space where a Christian blessing was being given. Then we have that. They also believed that the seventh son of a seventh son possessed the supernatural powers. Unbelievable. You would see a vision of your future husband by pinning bay leaves to your pillow on the eve of St. Valentine's Day. Then we have that. The saying knock on wood to prevent the evil eye was one of the superstitions that had originated during the Elizabethan era. The first topic is religion. In fact, there were lots of religious superstitions. Most people believed in hell as a very real place and that the devil was a specific person. Then it was believed that God set out an order for everything in the universe. This was known as the Great Chain of Being. And the last is that on earth, God created a social order for everybody and chose where you belonged. In other words, the king or queen was in charge because God put them there and they were only answerable to God, the divine rights of kings. This means that disobeying the monarch was a sin. Then there is the topic of the body. Medicine in Shakespeare England followed the theory of the humours. These were 4 liquids in the body: blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm, which needed to be in balance for you to be healthy. Each liquid gave off vapors, which entered the brain and altered the person. If someone was ill, you could treat them by altering the amount of the humor they had in them. You might give them an emetic, something to make them throw up, or you might bleed them to take excess blood away. If you were sanguine, dominated by blood, you would be jolly, optimistic, and fat. If you were choleric, yellow bile, you would be short-tempered, red-haired, and thin. You might also be ambitious. If you were phlegmatic, you would be slow, pale, and lazy. And if you were melancholic, black bile, you would be thin, yellowish, and tend to spend a lot of time thinking and worrying. And then, last but not least, another important topic of the Elizabethan superstition was the subject of witches. Superstition and beliefs in witches and witchcraft were at their height during the Elizabeathan period. People believed in the supernatural ability of the witches, and this led to the development of many superstitions during this period. It was women who were mostly associated with witchcraft. First of all, witches were really particular creatures that had lots of characteristics. They were people who had made a pact with the devil in exchange for supernatural powers. Witches might have a familiar, a pet or a toad or a bird, which was supposed to be a demon advisor. People accused of being witches tended to be old, poor, single women. It is at this time that the idea of witches riding around on broomstick, a common household implement in Elizabeathan England, becomes popular. So, a witch had an image of an old crooked woman who kept pets such as black cats, wolves, snarling dogs, and blackbirds for company. People blamed, according to the opinion that people had of witches, there were really important beliefs of them. In fact, people blamed unpleasant events such as the bubonic plague, crop failures, bad harvest, and death of animals, and so on, as the handiwork of the witches. For that reason, the witches were the scapegoat of the devil in the world and were considered the causes of these terrible events. In fact, during the era, around 247 women were put under trial for being allegedly engaged in witchcraft. There are a lot of ways to test for a witch. A common way was to use a docking stool, or just to tee them up and duck the accused under water in a pond or river. If she floated, she was a witch. If she didn't, she was innocent. She probably drowned. Anyone who floated was then burned at the stake. It was legal to kill witches because of the Witchcraft Act passed in 1563, which set up steps to take against witches who used spirits to kill people. Then, also in literature, we face this problem. In fact, King James I became king in 1603. He was particularly superstitious about witches and even wrote a book on this subject. Another important figure is William Shakespeare, that wrote Macbeth, especially to appeal to James. It has witches and is set in Scotland, where he was already king. The three witches in Macbeth manipulated the characters in the disasters and cast spells to destroy lives. Moreover, the first actor of the play died because of the fever, and one of the actors died during the representation. This causes fright to the audience and increases the creation of superstitions related to the play. Other magic beings, the fairies, appears in the Midsummer Night's Dream. We have reached the end of our presentation. We hope that you have enjoyed it and that you have learned something new about Elizabeathan superstition. See you soon and be careful of witch.